Ekosiisen nie bonsua wo menesempa de brane mamba obi so
Masomo asempa 94.7 FM Ekosiisen dwumede no asuguso awutie no ma menna mu nyina ase ne ensan mama kwa babio emfa momra studio ha bedwafo ni nyina atena se 9 minutes after 5 o adwencha obetimi do messages no abrayen 0548443523 and yedikan edin komo the Ghana Revenue Authority asset July 16th for the implementation of the postponed energy sector levies amendment act 8% increment fuel prices said the 1 Ghana cedi on a liter of fuel both diesel and petrol into July 16th and no chassis and Energy Ministry spokesperson and a head of communication said the home and como and then so omanpenyi apao the 24-hour plus in the 24H plus it's a promiser a buying a position or more emaye into ending no omanpenyi apao ho entoma. There are still some other issues. Attorney General a file motion to strike out Chief Justice Tokono the judicial review application and also a file High Court into no honsem ewo media budget no would clarify road contractor payment. Enra Obeka, there was this whole debate in Parliament for $360 million loan facility. And the buying Edis Hasikano Eba. The minority had issues about the buying say Mudisikano Eba Abababe. Intinina yen komoa ewoho. And then so yasin din komo efa the fight against illegal mining. Dr. Hannah Louisa Bisiu Eko Koye operation be in some regions, mining regions as it were. Usizi excavators bear 40. Now ochiremu ana low beda omode 5 excavate no mu nibi into omudi kogu baby sa ade action. No mako cut size excavators omo call na 33 ayera amaka 7 enti eno yen sema no so take center stage, you know, the whole of yesterday and enti we mo nkomo a egu yap no so aye ba behwe na yedi abedwafo no se dem kan no mo atena se honorable Ekapa Mercer eba studio ha ache papa honorable kwa abana pom to den
ya mu ne be na adoma kwa
bibia boko sekunde boko
akwentu peace bi no botwom ma muko kezi jume bizbi but maba
sisi aba
oh maba full time minchia wezi na
wajodo
if I'm maba town be 3 weeks.
Oh okay
but Wednesday bia so in the past bibia abo cross but anapano no
bedroom
sure me no any ndisifu propaganda so me no hwehwe mo
mate edase da nyame asra be kayensa Dr. James Kwabnabo fe akwa aba na pom te sen
ye nua obi mena nanom se sirwenya otimkomu a wo adinanti yetinkomu ide na asida na yede be ma otwedi ampo no se waye adom ama yete ase me ba na mitie nkomo bia na mudi
yes
one ai
akwesinsia na
dabi
okay
UPS asem no one medin kasa
yes
na just because I teach there.
Oh, you do?
I'm a lecturer there.
Okay.
I want to put it on record.
Okay.
Part of orientation me yedimi firm ewo university as a lecturer.
Yes.
University almost say scholarship with professionalism.
With professionalism, yes. Motto no.
Nenye motto the folk
the tagline.
Say what we do there.
Yes.
It is both scholarly and it is professional. It is the only university who training professionals. Now at the same time, so no, or scholarly programs. Okay. Unlike other universities now, scholarly programs in Kwani no. In the young lecturers numpo, ya wo tadia ubeshe Monday. Or my friends say professional dress code. Oh, me koshe batekari in with my friends say shoe near the traditional outfit. It raised an issue
on a Monday.
Emma, the university of my seniors are makoto or more money or more year, you know. I'm talking as a lecturer. What I say? So university no what ne never be away. Meaning, sir, Kojo, Watna Abamuda. Meaning, Ekosiisen Abamuda. There are offices of state in this country. What the slippers won't call no one. Are you aware of that? And the university no what ne shishaya or the
even courtroom.
Okona one dress here.
That's if you are not even a
even
lawyer.
as a lawyer who dress be qua.
No,
judge yeah, we judge Becca just say you are not properly dressed. You can't even properly. Yes, you understand.
Before the court.
As some now, I see one more cover and Obi, where the way me enter America.
Me too, pa.
Onyan can university no dress code.
Oh, nothing man can't say.
Me say onyan can no, but you were okay. Say you have issues. Say a university.
It was the video.
Yes,
the video.
Maybe.
The video.
The video does not tell the entire story. That's it.
Me too.
Is there audio voice accompanying the video? It doesn't. And the American say sometimes we run issues in the media, and sometimes before the truth will come out, now you distort what the facts are. Maybe new authority say make Kasama University because said the dean or no a dean of the faculty or no crack I say I've a university no I be respond to that because structures work. But I'm just trying to create the I put out say but be a one shishaya ye di adwa na me lecture mpo me no ho kwan say me dress kwan bi so me kan say me dean call the dean of the faculty my faculty of management studies.
Yes.
Now or no bar or bar around to see how lectures were going on. No, who student be the outfit or not auditor. No, say that one fair. I don't know. And there are issues. And yeah, UPS and Kwa universities are canon yade. It's answer no one more kwa mate unofficially something about the video. It is not the kind of impression that was created. Say Obia drag Obi, and let me put it here. Say,
but there was a dragging in.
I don't think it was a dragging.
Now any related to task force.
Exactly.
Fine. Exactly. But there was a dragging. In
so that's why I'm saying that you don't put a video without the appropriate narrative to it and situate it in that situation. I don't mean say university no task force no yes say omo ma wa won dress say according to university no a dress code no unra campus so and the anya dey so be wura mu and no record dragging out and the binom ekọ omo hostels which are just across and opposite ekosesa bae now this particular group omo say no mu gina ho nti me dey say dey si ba no wa hu bi o video mu no
and you know to be a hwebi
and to be a hwebi what I would just want to say ni say yen twen so na asem no route na obi fi say obi human rights any ade you were raising say university no friend saying protocol bi and I say rule bi evaluate the national constitution in article 19 the person can take the university on
to court
and then the matter will be heard. So what I say
I get it.
Nti mesre say institution bia wo ade a man dance.
Prof say mo handbook no. But me I was thinking said the dean of student issue memo no. Unse oka nioma bia wuntimi nse ne ade. But Prof went further to say in mo handbook no there are actually pictures on how you should dress
and look
nioma no any ade. Then I would also say then maybe more relax mrana dodo. Ama sisi
ana me catch say me I have found myself in a situation where my dean had to ask me why I was reluctant to get a student out of the classroom because the student was not properly dressed.
Because I'm a shell lady in the video now. The dressing no did not look that in
mean who the specific instance. All I'm trying to say is that what someone now run or hand say a university into be a bet me look
but it is a university.
Yes, nobody is taking that away. Me call university of Cape Coast, me call University of Ghana. Yes. You were not allowed to dress anyhow. We didn't dress anyhow.
Where dress anyhow means
you have to dress according to yes. Now young enforce bibi also and now dress anyhow.
Anyhow near there. What is anyhow?
You can't anyhow I say
Indecent.
Say wo dress it wo ahofa de no.
Yes.
Enso ani and your friend anyhow. And you busa me so say o university obi a wo de opa and I say there no be be ya enso ani a enta me can't me sha see free say
book mo no.
Ya wo hihye baby a obeko bia wo kwan a ye fa so ye nema ana mama ye real fi so say obi nsam a ye kan nyina na efa o man chichire ho.
Oh sure. That's true.
Say send ye CD ehuni.
Your values.
Send ye de nhihye a yan kasa de ato no say de ye adwuma no. Ye de ye adwuma. Ansa na student bia ye be ma wa sha ase asua de wo university bia no. Wo de undertaking say nhihye guidelines are investing the amount no. Ubedi so. Wa ni so a e won susanso.
Yes.
Enti say obi aye sa wie na okọ university won na sabi na ho fade no etia anase nkoyi a o say university no ntra no hwe minyini say efa ni kwan yan momodin say ibesua kwan a ye be fa so de mra ye adwuma na ye ni ehuni ye say ye wadi nyina ho kwan enso nye nyina na e de fata ye ya anhyase na eno na ye di nyini e ma ye bedrum pempenso a Ghana hanwa ye ti ya nkasa ya mamra o say ye say ye say be ye de eye opposite na ve o man enkoyi a ye say ye di blame ma obakofo bi nko.
And I think going for once a university handbook nemo there, the university would have to insist on enforcing it. I think there was a period of
enforcement as wo ka say university enforcement now we have university.
No, the question I was asking no say what hear me yeah maybe the end say omoka say decent dressing what constitutes decent dressing?
It's defined in the document. That's what the dean told you.
Okay. Well, I remember Honorable Kojedu Asari Akwaba.
And to win we are there, oh, they are fast so hard.
Very well, Mate. Honorable Akwaba to saying,
Ubi Yamia do me hoya pa.
Yadanyamia se pa. Bibi Ekoi.
Oh, Yara.
But I'm saying, who new kaftans, no so there. Is not so proud.
Feeling for Sable.
No, tell I know what here for. And I won't kind of want some say.
Oh, I'm 7 say me no. Make there be me boo baby chow. I won't crime.
Yes.
You see kuche. Igbo kewana.
Untrain bro, your son worry
a tiger. No matter how old it gets.
Yes.
You can't beat its claws.
Yes.
What you say?
In the swag in there, no for life.
Say I'm fan to me kwa. It was
honorable swagger.
Honorable
Kabila. 1 minute. What is the kind of thing?
Honorable swagger.
Kabila. You know. You need but
swagger is still on point.
Still there. She knew where
no matter the economy of the jungle, the lion will never eat grass.
Crack. Now, me will issue with this pharmacy for Nakanda.
Yeah, what can we have?
Yes, I think
still persistent.
Yes, you see, dollar abafom. Dollar no abafom. Yati petrus. Ni hundi intia still in drop borders jina baby jina. They are fleecing the system.
For every drobia and nrubi.
Me say now drono it will be change. Ni ane board day now me tono. It's still standing at the same.
All are largely imported and so.
Chale omunjai sa. What I say? You see, ye kaso obi your mambonia. Enye niya uwiya o mansi kankwa o. Niya no so benefit wrongfully. What I say? Dollar yaba form. In the last 2 months, we recognize as I said near my booby eba form. Amudia baby amujina na mujina. Oh, meanwhile, fear be anywhere into a room. What I say? Ye Diania ye di. I don't say fear be crown pono a draw budget. I was so scratching Diania. So, it's no, I'm who be being say, dollar number form near my bona. So fast, or no, I can draw. And I'm say, demonstration, let me organize you
against Wymo.
Near pharmacy council.
But the pharmacy council among regulated prices.
Why won't they regulate?
Say Ghana, you need price control.
Nobody is saying that, but say Niema call for one. You won't call for it to me. Sorry, Koye. Adan. Niema bu also cost right. We have institutions call negotiate. Adan. So why are they sitting down and watching all of us suffer? It, you know, that would be my first issue.
Okay.
Yeah, Kabila raising. But then Fusanka University. Can do an amount of some liberty crowd and me, that's what I thought. Because primary school regulative, secondary school regulative. Utrini crown to me trap mount like umpo as I say you know na say ana a young man be in a dreadlock issue he buy aha permit 1 or 2 young Colabia or more yanka and also kwa we be man kwa dey certain bia uti trouser say shirt shorts as I say the tintin do go to do any the kika kan ho I could do university in Swa. Also I mean, I'm liberties kakra anyway, because if the video we all watch has anything to do with the real story, I'm panyampa maybe what was wrong with the ladies dressing. I'm panyampa, and what business has that security guard
or a task force member?
Oh yes, on task force here.
Omonshare dressing.
For assault them. Is that what they were instructed to do? Did they have to drag somebody? And now you say, but the Saka Kabila crowd them who had sent a mayen assault.
Yes.
And I know
and quite a
lawyers
me battery.
Me video no. The issue is that we don't even have details of the video. Me I haven't watched it. Obi T.
Doc Matewa say.
I send it to me see what Asempa FM.
I get you.
They have been in this studio, no for on this Asempa FM show. Yeah. Something happened in your studio.
Yeah.
It was misreported outside.
That's
I
right.
went to your other studio to state what actually happened.
Sure.
And the Assam no, they're making say and then no
Kabila.
Look, the university is not about. The dean said something that was very
instructive.
Or say
if he had anything contrary.
He said he didn't have information.
No, me ba. Says that video no enye bibi efa omo yi ho a.
Enforcing dressing na.
Anka he would have obeyed a disclaimer straight away.
What did he say?
He was just building walls around the story.
First and foremost, no, he was responding to the call because
he was
in a relationship with me.
He is not the right person to even respond to this issue.
So why did he respond? Obi a friend whom? No. Oh, Kabila. I don't know. Person independent assessment of the matter.
You're fair to the dean, Kakra. I think we see you.
As someone who have baked information about, and how they stay away, get your facts before you step up. That's what I think, so that you can give us the full blast of the issues. What am I saying? But in a way, you are trying to assembly at the amount of school. Do you understand? Who says assembly? So yet you are telling us, who should I I mean, come on. I don't think, say, why when you're ready, please leave it to the appropriate friend is saying department now. As what I said, let them investigate, get the facts when the issues come up. As you interrogate and you interrogate based on facts. No, but obey yet to say, I say school no, you way na school no, you way na school no. To say, the journalism.
Oh, Madam Fopa, Prof. We're being said,
Obi was.
Oh, you mean I'm a moderator? No, he's my friend.
And the pass, of fell. Say, oh, Prof, yeah, who are you be now? Your person will
Oh, but James, the sentence America said, to be fair to Prof.
Yes.
Prof issued the caveat.
have said that.
Yeah, no, dear. No, dear.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm not blaming Obi. Me say, Prof, no. Or no, na.
Doc, what do you make that from?
Prof, na. Prof, na, me can't, masem, no, me ye say. Prof, udim sa same way. Unsheda in nim nenisu ye. Tada. Why don't you want to polish your school to look like Nibibia, pepe? At the same time, you don't have the facts.
But Honorable, you also say, Uchemo UPS, honey, at no whom Kolani be dressed now. We are in show.
Niami can say, you see, me, I brought up my children with the fear of the Lord.
Okay.
So that when they grow,
they will not depart
from it.
Yes.
It dressing, no, me are interested in what they wear, especially Yamuku school.
Okay.
Of course, girls are bano. Me sister Penny. That ana me be 4 or 5. My sister Penny not chair me be 20 years. On in a chiba, mba me no first and second born. 1970 something, 73, 74. Pictures be on try. I'm not tired da.
1970.
Da Mosrel so has say.
Bribia nene shisheyo. The time you are talking about.
Oh,
Afro Moses time. So me say me papa picture be no what training college I gonna 69 70 on be. I trouser no. I'm say I no go bet me a farm shirt. I say na okay. And just I didn't be to JK no.
Mami come answer, mami come. Me see. Fashion
evolve
na samba.
Yeah.
Ghana ha.
Yeah.
Upese uhun ye ma ye dressing esisan okrom ha. Ye time Liberia for
a bass
Ghana.
On be influenced dressing.
Yes. Near short, near man skimpy, near man no share. Omo na de ba share 89, 90, 91. And I funny so you fire. Yan ka hwi o. Autofista. Near man near my yan shanko school, yan shanko university. Who be? Jafe na de na ya share ma de no. I step at Jintim and I can say,
yeah, Jintim.
I've been a regulation.
What we almost say university no bar handbook or the mound dressing in our womb. Neoma won't mean bathroom slippers. Many providing come across a car and you
original lecture hall like Nim Pay. Students, a real lecture hall.
Some me have a student, make some real lecture hall.
Then now.
Fact, you're insisting, and I.
That is it.
It is right.
Because you're right, but my year high.
I'm a
tintim.
Okay.
It is a mobile, yes, 10 there. And the 15 other call you very pay. Do you understand? 15 other call you very pay is how you are going to enforce from now on. Because yeah, mama will be scapegoat. Ne be no so enfamunko. Ti ye be hwe ye de ni beto form. Me mo dressing ni bi nya nefe. I must be honest.
Okay.
Enya nefe.
Okay.
Especially sometimes na tita man no. Asanya on sheshi. Osatade o.
So aso on sheshi.
Aso the entire skin no ho. Line bia nso yi no ho.
Hey. No,
that is the thing. And we are allowing these things, even in church. Even in church.
Preach on, brother.
What you say? You know, I don't know who JJ Mua, ebe hojo wa unsem.
Where's a obe correct here?
Where's a obe correct? And I feel umo wa dani lipa boni. What you say? It is a move enforce so dear.
Go all out.
And they go all out because we are with you. Indecency now too much. Our system. Because it's like, even when you are trying to bring your children up the right way, you look odd. Yeah. You know, I am not against it.
Okay.
But
very well. That's it. Honorable Egyapa Mercer, you are a lawyer. Meaning on this issue will be become one. Now you move on.
Move on.
Mate.
And then we the able studio Abasawa.
Oh, nda.
Enya.
Abasawa.
Cha also they are sempa abo. 24-hour economy. It's a me fi den there war lunch yeba. You bet that so send there. Oh,
no, for we go na brede kaka. Me camera ninti. Ai.
And then him there. CCIA young men and women oh se green na ya.
Wo be nya
adwuma abano bobo adwuma existing government agencies ministries departments oba frankofo three shifts formula 133 na me feed end the wall lunch no che that shango in our applications no wa start my ministry of tourism, ministry of energy nina wo be 24 of that oba frankofo da ma it's na my ready part them me sham dance issues met the oba luncheon in the 2nd July my abasaw but I who na me do pray ha
oh na say ndem no ye launch no maybe na no sha say
I who na me do pray ha na 133 ono ni 300 page document ya obi formula 133 one manifesto outline and zama wobeye ma obia wogana bebuni bia wogana bia wenye adwuma waye no ono nye 300 page document and da walanche
na wokade bebunu bia benye adwuma
ana wokade bananche youth no wo page adwuma ye abane se obobe create jobs ana plenty eche ko tubo wi asa waka lunch 300 na them documents no 40-year-old development plan ya Dr. Kwesibo Chebuwaye 2017 or say 2018 mu difference bi awo
akana
chief Masrawo
oh question na bibi say
ya start new month
akana
mamman kamasa
ana mon kana sem
oh sense wo na obi say wa kan ko book e da wa un kan ye de na book na kan
emu de 24 hour de no
so no na say 300 page na say emu de na wa kan
in fact exact copy am wo no 283 momo date to some sakadam document obi
and a document Dr. Gusitano
obi me say momo
283 pages
mana me ka kira obi the deception padisi what the dada Ghana youth ma what to abamo ho ne wa ya wa ha obi me say me chow there me saka document no 24-hour economy.
Charlie, on your ready. I
got it on the 3rd of June.
Yeah. Also, or the
24-hour plus 2025. 283 pages.
Asempa FM.
I'm not sure the one I'm playing.
Miss Akana.
No, Madam June, so,
how can you condemn a book you haven't read?
It is obvious. The one voluminous documents now what about what crowd on peden ko for crowd when you turn working because I can 230 pages boy you know. Now what I come on no but you know na paba. The promise was simple. And there will be anchored by the private sector.
And government would only facilitate.
Hey. Only Formula 133 no.
Yes.
Asempa abo. Mr. the youth of Ghana by now wosunga the na motinya na programs are outlining nine on your consolidation of planting for food and jobs and agenda what you call it one district one factory. How different is the Itigan or the Grow 24? Is this farming now? You must start your farm where the light yako. Will bet your electricity war farms or Ghana now, Kokoma rubber plantation war. That West or baby. You can't light alcohol in the fire. I can't believe it.
What can't you believe?
But how is that even conceivable?
Obesi market 24-hour economy model market across the country.
I walk out on all.
Na market what it on.
But I was so much 230. I got to tomatoes or gumina abana bed.
So nice market. No, you nice market.
Tomatoes. 2 a.m. in there. Are you telling me that you won't get somewhere to buy? It's available. If you want to buy tomatoes at 2 a.m., if you have more
this matrical government, that one is yeah.
In Ghana,
complete disappointment. On fanfare and the way my no fanfare.
But are you not jumping the gun?
Catch out there, yeah. I don't know what launching Mahama case.
Yes, Mahama case.
What launching?
Yes.
Event organization. We can see info. We can see. Prior to that, was launching another one. Ejumapa.
Yeah, Ejumapa na national apprenticeship
event organization.
Ejumera and a national apprenticeship.
Event organization on no experts. And then that's why another event organization. But I'm saying that narrative of what their campaign. Formula 133. On event organization because I would have thought though a very simple and straightforward one manufacturer sufficiently captures the kinds of things what be yema 3 shift why juma for 6 months. DVL and Master was a 24-hour office bill denta.
DVL.
That's what I heard. I don't know whether they say Joy SMS.
Okay.
Now one chief executive no
okay.
office B. Very recent.
Okay.
I don't know whether it's even functional. But how about the passport office that they promised? How about the ministries, department, and agencies?
Ministries, department, and agencies.
Now,
okay,
how about the banks? Every entity be our Ghana be a mobile tree. Now, and when we tree, where are you going to get a job to grade from?
No, that's one.
And the public,
what there every ministry be a juma.
Now, Department of Government.
Oh, now it's a groma here.
Shifts.
3 shifts.
Every department of
Thank
government.
you. 24 hours.
Oh, I don't think so.
I
think they rather mention.
Is it that you didn't follow or
No.
you didn't
What
hear?
I remember is they mentioning government entities they provide service to the people. And on
the ministries won't provide the service.
Oh, maybe a passport office,
No, ministries
Ghana
what do
Police
they-
Service,
Ministries won't provide the service.
What do they do?
Departments of state won't provide the service. Agencies won't provide the service. Not at all.
Philip for sables.
Obi. But I'm a doubt that the truth would always be laid bare. Okay? Me, I will always tell you. Omani ya chicha kwenye
yes.
ya chicha kwenye and minim so that abane bia bia no obetum why
Asempa FM.
and so to that extent so obetum we create a juma mbobun when the bia ya so be it. But when it is based on deceit purely for political power, then you go and assemble people to sit for 6 solid months. What allowances? Yeah, we produce 283-page document. They on 24-hour economy policy, and that will be driven by private sector. Like seriously, now government on about then.
Us the government will facilitate.
The president says government won't need 24 hours.
No, us the
in the
government
public sector won't increase workforce no by ×3. Won't increase the BM.
Don't remember that one.
The public sector will not be increased by ×3 to run 3 shifts.
That one I remember. The American is
so what is your problem that you argue with me on this show?
No, there are 24 hours in a day.
Yes.
8-hour shift.
8 hours.
It is all there. Man can manifest. Mama some come 1 hour.
Emma mimi busa some part-time class. We are see we my ben was her.
What's the UK?
Offices be running.
Oh, what's the UK? So, Australia. Fellas watching for my good friend. Sydney.
Sri Lanka, Iraq.
Then they forget that. They forget that the day will come. The day of reckoning.
Accountability
will certainly come. Mawabari package. Since you will create industrial hubs. Now, don't we have industrial hubs under the aegis of free zones already? Obi, that document is interesting. Read it. A baby somewhere there are. Development plan. Another Formula 133.
No, so the president made a point in that the 24-hour economy is not just about extending the hours for work. It's rather creating a whole new industrial ecosystem. To turn around the production sector of the economy. But you didn't listen to the president today.
Obi.
I was
Obi.
Okay.
Now 4 years of Bobo.
And the advisor has said there a ban would need 4 billion USD to implement the 24-hour economy.
By creating a facilitative rule.
Yes, because targeted funding for companies and all of that.
What do we get out of that?
The return, more jobs.
The return in value terms, $4 billion. And what value?
Jobs.
Jobs, no
more jobs.
Yes, but it will come in value terms.
Yes.
It will yield in jobs. I bet criti ABR taxes and
go deep too much. I want to understand though. Abanos ne Sisiano on create Formula 133 BM. Na onankasa de on facilitate ala.
Yes.
But private sector no oba.
Sure.
Thank you. Inti no facilitating role no here 4 billion another abade.
Sa explanation in my ye.
Na coordinator no can mbisa na.
No, so okay, program now.
Okay, the few days before, in fact, on newspaper front page, couple of days before the AE.
I would interview him on Friday.
So really, after the 6 months, is that what we get?
Augustus Kusitano.
Brother Paynuso. Is that what we get? But like I said, Obi, you won't pay.
Okay. The onye
O send there, muko sekune. Namu young men and women are. Wohuma no one name aji o send there. Anye ya kakrabo drop.
Yeah.
O kamo hunemu. They na ye we nusum. My yakwa campaign mo around what that's a 24-hour economy. 133 we create a juma p. May na ye be aye. It hurts me. There between today and 2028. I will still have to be supporting these young men because the promise that Mr. Muhammad made to them. And then what the need? There, well, man number Kane, number did you vote Allah or your private sector? Why? So if the private sector doesn't respond, then what? You blame him? 1D, 1F. You record that policy?
Yeah, I do.
Numu, Ibi. Akufo-Addo industrialization policy. Work focusing on automotive industry. Mande. vehicle assembly plants alawa organ ha wo yejuma. They bastardized the damn year over power. We hear that chief of staff.
Chief of staff.
No, any government officials be waka visit some of these automotives. I'm wondering. So at what point are we going to do politics of principle in this country? Obi, at what point? 1D, 1F. Yes, it was very clear in the MPP manifesto that it is private sector driven. Obi, ekeya.
Yes.
Yankeno. But want to about mehene wie ne yerba bakede oh yakede 1D, 1F. But CCRD or a private sector driven. Right from get-go, it was clear in our manifesto that the government in collaboration with the private sector.
And Ekosiisen.
Thank you very much. As you promise, one district be our one factory. Factory no one. So I'm asking you a simple question. Formula 133 no, F and Kwafu no one.
We have not even started. You did it for 8 years. What is the balance sheet?
Balance sheet in automotive industry.
Any day.
Automotive industry.
Enra, the ranking member on the trade committee, Ebema breakdown jobs are 1D.
Oh, Jesus Christ of Nazareth! Yeah,
direct and indirect companies.
At what cost to the government?
Kojo.
They are not so calm.
At what cost to government?
Kojo. Musrao.
You know
when you me. Then I near King. The mum. Yasu Hajun. Come what catch Ghana for there?
Okay.
Akufo-Addo one mismanage Galamsey or mining to the point there on Oba will be declared state of emergency. Now the 1 week would end Galamsey. And there 6 months down the line, Galamsey is worse. What promising Ghana for the ally that allow or ally ahimpo that no I can't keep in my head. What's Oba? You revoke it. Yet to Abamono, as someone, as oh no, minion revoke BM. Is it
now been amended?
Can the damn? I don't have a problem. The day of reckoning will come. But to suggest there, a woman I shall see now 8 years. And say I shouldn't speak because I've done 8 years and also 4 years or whatever. You won't have 8 years anyway. Balance sheet. Now balance sheet in the job the hall. Communities are district are
okay.
What 1D 1F project are all your private sector owned. They are there. By your commitment to the youth of this country.
Obi.
But Makasa oya what it here.
Why am I too much?
Denta.
But Honorable Obi say what kind of document now? Priority areas, no? Grow 24, make 24. But I couldn't go ahead. Oh, in the grow make. Yeah, one for creative in that I'm trying to remember. But Obi said, and the grow 24. Also, Obi, we have some farms which operate 24/7, morning, afternoon, evening, and night shift. One, harvesters. What time on Baby Juma? Two. Cleaners or washers to wash the product. Evening is for packaging and bagging. Night shift will load product onto trucks ready for the supermarket. Some farms have food preparation, cooking and packaging for supermarket all day, all night.
Thank you very much. In terms of one farm for phone,
Blue skies.
Yes, blue skies.
So they work throughout.
Yeah, they do.
You can't say be what had
and so no end this road over play home to
me that say my colleague on the other side. Honorable Edu Asare,
yes,
you wanted to and as me was a baby, I'm visa kasa ba na pesa wo kasa ansa na honorable kasa ba o de wo baby dia manen kasa. Honorable Edu Asare, me pa cho ma mintie we na na o pese o kan se ma mintie o.
Obi. Me no me ye ubia eba vision. Yeah, can vision as someone. Me find the agro.
Okay.
Because personally, Last week I was telling you, say, me, in the last, how many, 6 months by, I'm out for expect to say,
Yes.
In the midst of that, I have created a job. I have employed 22 people.
Vision.
In the midst of when people expect, say, me ankasa, me kope, ejuma mami ho. I have created a job. I've employed 22 people. And I'll show you on my phone. So, this last, the 1st July, and I'm here on first month salary. But I paid from my money, my own money.
Yes.
And you know, you can't be a far vision. Some of us, we have a way we embrace it. And you know, I'm not surprised. Say Andrew Mercer, my brother, will sit here and want to bastardize a vision.
So on vision, I say.
Otherwise, I'm surprised. Say this is his perspective. This whole program, this is how he interprets it. It's a big shocker to me. Big shocker. Because a dream, it's something that has been thought about. Implementation. Vision now when you know it's a say nipa planning. And you be planning. You be funding, then
Yes.
You need to put up a policy. Policy, you know, and with various facets. Marketing, your friends saying funding, and you can't home. Then you know, some pillars, you need to place them where they belong before you can hinge any policy on top of it. Your document, 283 pages. Is it a Bible or some storybook? It's not. A bar, whoever conceived the 24-hour economy idea. And no na yet through Bible classes saying vision now. Make it
write the vision down. Make it plain on the tablet.
Wonderful.
So he who finds it will run with it.
Wonderful. What I say?
Yeah.
It is who knew how to do some of these things. Not say you will react the same way, and I'm not surprised. So I'm not buying you go here. Because if you have men who think the way my brother does, in the manner say, even their own 1D, 1F, or Kano, they couldn't even actualize their very core mandate. So core ideas. Now Omodesha say, later they had to shift from it.
You sure?
Yes. Obi, when some round you did blue and red. Chat blue and red. This what did they do with it?
So omo be man to me anye ni nyina.
Omo ye dia. Oh, omo ko fa kasa prekumu. Old companies are edibe 30 years. And you call enhancing one part of omo department be. Now
That was okay.
Oh, Kabila Biwa.
That's as if I from me one day. Yeah, be a company for who me nyawe.
Casabraco. Okay, yeah. Oh, unkai Casabraco. I did more than 30 years. I'm so omo Casabraco, collaboration.
No, but they explain some more greenfield companies, some more brownfield companies. Brownfield, the existing companies are on person more expanded.
Okay,
they come under the facility now.
Doggery.
Yeah, dog meat factory. which would have been a greenfield factory.
Okay.
Yeah.
Away.
What's it?
Dog green way. You see, these are the people who are trying to mock us. Look at the people who are trying to mock us. Failure, poto. A confit juice.
Yeah.
And no pen of it, we are make us say, and no crap will cost meaning some way export and quao.
Oh, no, I'm told you.
Yeah,
Mamma, supermarket, you anyway, over the Beato.
I don't know original distribution.
No, but I'll pay the outer Obey.
Apart from her, he found you.
I am home, TV Africa, name home, day, or cabby, so like a man for be, you know, anyway. TV Africa. What's it?
It didn't fly, and then others I didn't fly.
A confused.
And it's be a ton you join and need a TV editors, a media house is name.
Oh no, you give it to them. I think.
Oh no, of course they
out there.
They I don't say my dick and car. But they didn't be now body. What else can you mention? And that one
other companies.
Yes.
Oh,
who say Obi? What do we mommy 5 pair? There be name show phone do. No, my right.
I made more trader.
Ah, my goodness. You see, only
company
on top of his head, he doesn't know. Yes, you should.
I'm a lawyer.
Because if it is functioning, I'm in boy Kunfi. Where did I get it from? Who do you want to mean Bobio? I feel now go fool so.
The information is there. I know where to find it. So why do I have to?
No. If it is something that is replete everywhere, and by now it be a country. Kebia country, obeba potato. Maybe says yeah, potato factory.
Yeah, potato chips factory.
I know something na neighbor.
Yeah.
My farm paper be, and my farm book be, and my family phone. It is because I over the years. You know, it be wa utu say function. It be so there pa na omodenam. Ti obi 24-hour economy no. Aban ebe faso have their building infrastructure.
Okay.
This economy we are describing will hinge on top of it. Because
infrastructure has in big push now.
And it's all linked. Because say bus service.
Yes.
And nam chrome anopa ewia enyumre.
Yes.
Driver don't accommodate na. Abanu aduane afifie ade akosi ni bus mu.
Also nya restaurant bi. Ana restaurant bi.
What you say?
Yes.
Tino. You can't 24-hour economy now. Why drink to me picky some of these things, sir? Then I'm wondering why you are in politics.
Saying what's not drink picky? It was say, when now you vision bearer, no? You have to pull the people along.
And then I make say book here. You only quoted the page number of pages. You never quoted even the front page caption. That's just a book. The caption, front page caption, yet you are criticizing the content when you have not seen it, you have not read anything from it. Because I'm going to and I'm going to be 7 days be Esia near woman and I saw kind near woman next week. Obetna and I will yell submission and I will critique BB. Based on what you have read. Situate well with you are. Then your audience will know, say, criticism, it is hinged on something concrete. But when the answer and you say, and then you oppose you. So okay. No, sir, in America. Yes, Papa B. No, your MP.
What's happening? Story.
MP. Now, Ashanti Hobe one of the Ashanti parliamentarians.
Yes.
John, don't you buy your Bora for anyone?
Then you oppose
because of opposition. It Oceani, young hey, and then you oppose. Oh, do opposition. And one say, be a debate will be a come and oppose.
Yes.
Is that what it is? Yes, sir. We criticize the things that they themselves today consider to be wrong. President Kufuor Niamani bi ono nkasa last week. Obubo obi so. Anamebwa. Omo party for have labeled some of the decisions they took, policies or taking here. They themselves have considered those policies as wrong policies. And we criticized it. We drew attention to it. It will criticize it. Yeah, please come clean. Take us on for something we've done. And you're there fair. You launch you. The first day of the launch, you have not seen the document. You have not read chapter 1. Nothing. And you are already defeated. Say, wo constituency nye juma nye. Me say me. Edu asare kwedu. In the last 1 month, I have created 22 jobs.
A manufacturer, buddy.
Me manufacturer.
You have no job that has employed 22 employees.
I created 22 jobs for people.
Job after the 22. That's creating 22 jobs.
Yeah.
What's the difference?
Yes. I say I've created 22 jobs.
Mope semantics dodo.
That's what
as man ke obia otie mi atmase wo pe una for a PhD into
like we're creating a juma.
No, it is that's all te brofo ananu bo who pass all time say me brofo no nya papa say na papa kire
and I'll provide our service.
No, or a cleaning company.
Me say
yes.
Oh, clean our entities no clean.
Or chain contract. It will be an arm.
Listen, me contract. It will be a
contractor.
We will be, but I want more.
We're here for government agencies.
The most time.
You see, so
you don't know we're wrap here.
I'm wrapping up for you.
Government agencies.
I'm the person me chill. And me say obi kasada ipaku e vision asemo I plug in. And now me tie President Mahama. Okasafa a new city. Yeah. I'm thinking of how Yemubi, where we fit in that creation of that city. That is what visionary people do. It me and politics are better everything we just condemn and we criticize and no. We can't build a nation like that. We have to create jobs for our boys and our girls. And yet there we need to do so.
Okay.
Rather than to condemn and to criticize and please come along, think along with us. And stop being antagonists.
But you didn't do that for them in the one district, one factory.
Why didn't we do that? But we saw it as you can't say feasible.
Really?
Because you see, I don't entire district. I don't a producer because free what you one district, one factory. Tell me. I didn't a door or whole raw material a free adenta district or they buy one district, one factory. Adenta. Do you understand? So we're trying to tell you, say, look, what do you say? Ube according to Bibia, a year prevalent in a particular catchment area now, Bibia. Then, but it was just some slogan to look. They did work. One village, one done. And what did it mean? And then tell me which village you know. I'll be share one dam, baby. One back when they say
1 million per
1 million per constituency per year.
Yes.
And I know 1 million per constituency per year. And no somebody call here toilets. And then later I must say what could be this warehouse. One warehouse. Please. Please. Oh, they lack vision. They lack the zest to even get things done.
Okay.
So when these same people turn around
to come and lecture you,
to come and want to lecture us on how to govern, it really puts me in a certain mood. And Mami Kasa, very gentle.
Medase. Dr. James Kwabena Bonfe, 24-hour economy finally launched. President said, "Wapa hontoma." Inti ende no ashase officially.
I shall say what? I shall say in what sense?
And the womanka, almost say ashase, wapa hontoma.
Okay, so me on my man mono the year me ding we say we stifle debate. Oh, now
with a lack of information.
Well, not either say you be taking arrogant position say mintie the nipa no ka. Sometimes we are say no. Na asem kra wo ka no. Eno na nipa no ka. Wahu. Ade e beba de nnwuma beba o my Ghana. Ade e beba e de mpuntu beba o my Ghana.
Okay.
Ade e beba na di nnwuma ebebre mabunu dodo na womo akosua nimde ana mo akosua de omo wonimde ana mo akosua de na womo betumi de ye adwuma ma na bamfa so Ghana so no eye sabi nipa bonefo ana mamwefo nkwa na obe kasa ti asa de no enti mefo aso bibia ede mpuntu beba na wahu minua pani kwadwo
Yes.
waye ade bi wo hanu sesie ye a ete sede suban ya na minua Egyapa Mercer nom womo ka eye 1D 1F ye ka ye womo so ye no eno abi na ono so ye wo hai hwe womo ka 1D 1F asema me kan ne say me apart from the ideological and philosophical backgrounds of traditions this animal asema na me kan say woko baby to say United States state new big one more isolated that they are considered as hubs of certain things. Into pay oil, fango, who nimde ni adia, woko baby num to say Texas, no ni adia, ena, sanemano, yidi hood mapa, ope, edishia, any idea, Massachusetts, no ni ade, ha, abobo, DNA ade, automobile in the bia wo area se wanti, ye bet me, said na kwajo ken, ye bet me anya, mantam, ana, sorry, mansi, ana mantam, poti binumu a ye be ye nyuma bi wo ho enti me den fanto bi ba se kintampo techiman nkranza na wenchi.
Yes.
Uwo mango se wo ho bebre enti you can have a chain of factories say the oil bottling factory, the oil fruit processing ebia ba ko wo nkranza ba ko wo wenchi ba ko wo techiman na ba ko wo kintampo anasa atebubu that enclave. Enti wo factories are interrelated, but omu nyina no ewo enclave bi e wo hono but enya district bia na chinchina chia obenya factory bi sa enti se na kwadwo kan adenta factory wo de kosi he it's already choked. Greater Accra hanmo ofa Abekuma yi Okankwe North, Okankwe South, Okankwe Central factory no there factory now they call
Doc Munchawa no, but in chair FN literally dama.
Aha,
You'll be making a mistake.
good.
Osande, my member from just to could you do answer mo? They pick the policy. No, what bastardizing.
Yes.
Assuming or supposing that by reason that kind of one district, one factory do. Every district be other factory.
No, but that's how your people explain it.
Oh, remember.
No,
that's not necessarily. No, that's not necessarily.
We saw the diagram. We saw the diagram.
Kasa. Doc, Kasa.
You see, that was the point, say. The feedback, and I remembered saying, say, Kwame Nkrumah had a policy for state, your friend saying, industries. By 1965, what kind of 1965 budget now? Nkrumah owns budget too.
Admitted, sir.
So they were failing. And the Asama mi busa say, against the year based on sa history no. I should say then the man who collapse here. And then a state industries are eventually PNDC beton de be a man ho. Then nhwehwemu nia ya e betu yemfo abraye kosade no mu. Na ya adwentre. But it was almost seen as if say one was opposed to it because we said they know musi canon and you're right. Kojo asema working 24 hours. Me the first time I buy up and I make a say, is it new? We are oko me mami kromba boy. 24 hours people are working. omfre baabi monya chese nso ano o won krofo e won mu fufuo mpo opebi 1 am 2 am ubenya bi adi they are working into already no o areas bi no ma by demand transport e kobanti nipa e wo ho no no ombeye adwuma 24 hours e wo ho kintampo obi a watwam akọ tamale bia nim say udu ho no 1 am 2 am 4 am wo nipa wo ho no a wo mu ye adwuma e wo ho no enti ebi wo ho no sa blue skies at least I consult for them intiminim omo batch sinkofo ekọ anopa awia anajo 24 hours ye will be no wo ho no sa enti already sa system no e wo ha it is not a new thing but wo say wo pese a threat and so the idea microphone be a kind of say aban nyuma nyinara ebe run shifts miensa explanation e ba yo nti ade no bi wo ho nti ya kasa fa ho no ya nkasa nye o anase ehunye o na momo ka no tra se ebe ye ade a ewo ba bia enye possible say de okay enye feasible enye ba bia enye bibia so na ubetimi ara ne no 24 hours services ni bi on mo it is not a 24-hour needed service dianye ne sayentu ebo ne enka ne sa enti de meka nyina ne matwa ne tia ne se ye da nyame ase se trimpo no ehun nkratasem ya pa hontuma kwanya ye betimi afa so edi dwuma ma enwuma ahodo me kai se obi de mu station cry infanto se multimedia mobile be run 24 hours enye mu de mumfa nipa mo obi decide ne infanto
but they already around 24
but we already do
enti
mo silent for some hours
but still it's running 24
but
hours.
Obi, the point is now why am I be listeners, you know? Are you going to have people listening 24 hours?
Say we an
But who peak time? Ekosiisen time say a peak ankrofo di panum ne adinti eye ade a enye trasa ese say to yebo ne ekyirechemu ne enya ho brase so say enya say NDC na di ayi John Mahama president his excellency and a di ban and NDC na sponsor ano e ma ne beye mampani nti eye NDC fo nkwa e bi kra wonu mu a ombeboa ma di na di mu pa no omu ndo amanyoku bia nti ye nya botre na yenkan mu na wonim 24 hours so they ben hours so your mind and na ye chichire nipa ba ko chichire enyi and na me de be ka de hia me pa enra da ponda aye freno Republic Day any de course any de mampani kan ya me fi say ye mpani nsem pa na ehu hia se enye kasa keke se de Thessalonia aye ngoma Paul Chokoma Thessalonia for de di kan no ba ko nchichemu enu no o se enye ano kasa keke na mom de sunsum ta kire na ne yo papa de kire ai free nyame mu if is a untimi anka han asem abra de ede ye ko je han ba no ubetwa ho afiri ho Republic Day na ye den ya eye da Ghana ye te ye ho efiri de ye friend say abrofo enko asumu krakra potokasa mo si full dominion sovereignty sada no na yenya bre se yenga nafo de ye pese ye de bu ye ho nipa obedi anim se mampani de di kan ya yenya ye eno no July 1st ana July 1 sabre no na yenya mampani se obeye de kan protocol mu commander in chief of the armed forces nanke enyirisi broni koko na na musini a friend governor general ade a friend head of state and government, no head of government, prime minister, but head of state and government. The first time I July 1, and also so a day need now back on. They told you say yes, Shemra parliament. Minianum for one moment say parliament. Pass it is still considered not an act until it is assented to. To me, I de assent no. Na governor ho. Ana oye de maquin sabre no ena nya itumi say free sada nti mampani a wo ba from 1960 nyina including this fourth republican era to me a wo de sign free July 1 And no time I question the creation of January 7 as Constitution Day. What Constitution Day? You didn't. Our Republican status was never overthrown, even though there was an overthrow of the 1960 Constitution. The status that we attained July 1, 1960 could never have been overthrown. And now, so Obi, the Etosubium say, you want idea a friend presidential honors, order of the Star of the Volta, companion of the head of state awards. No, meaning they were instituted on July 1. Due to the president, that's where we take authority from. And indeed, July 1, no, and a man, a friend of independence, partially from the narrative I've given on March 6, 1957. No, July 1, and full independence as a sovereign state. And me taking issues that time in my capacity as General Secretary of the Convention People's Party. The memorandum I introduced the holiday amendments, 2019. Yeah, 2019. We responded with a 60-paragraph memo. Yes, with a recount of the history behind July 1. We were not listened to. If I appeared before
the decision to make it a commemorative day.
Yes,
you took issues with.
Yes, because March 6 is not more important than July 1. In fact, March 6 is meaningless if it is not linked to July 1. And we have said it, say, March 6, 1957 remained subservient
to July 1
until it was fully revealed
in July 1.
July 1, 1960. That is the history behind it. Now we took issues with that. And no for the time no or say any commemorative but remain Republican Day.
Yes.
Republic Day. President Mahama. Obaya. Osi afedie. Republic no the danchen baby. Your friend a National Day for prayer and thanksgiving.
No, so still like to remain a Republic Day, but on that day activity a day for prayer and thanksgiving. Yes.
Why ne kasafa Republic? Mukasa in a Freeman Penny and Yasofo be preach no. Why ne kasafa the Republican status of Ghana, its attainment, its relevance, its import, its meaning to us today and our nationhood. Any values are invite you say you live by. Why? Now dear hamekase, and I say with this with all solemnity and humility. Whilst the president was preaching the right words, or can someone a young penny someone as I say dear chile and kambomu yan kamom yan fakroye yan you know. Na niema akoso wa ban mu from that year to abayi wo meye mampanim po besi nei niema the very opposite of the things that you were saying.
Oh really?
Yes.
Nioma ben sir.
I mean chro me na kwaja adu asarete. I'm said 2 or 3 weeks the last time I'm baha I'm in my bium till nei 3 weeks ago. Otrofo no so ni dance ni wachiri. Ye dia koyi Adenta women organizer
deputy women organizer
Nikunu aye fi say o MPP ninti ada ye fa no MPP apenso nti teacher for aye fa wo mo secular baye eyi wo mo adi e ma bi no nkoye video ka say ye NDC for na MPP ma ye adwuma ene ye reverse is ade no Nanu ya meti Bank of Ghana nipa 100.
Yeah, and also
yeah, reverse it. Do you know the genesis? It started with my own senior brother and friend, the chief of staff, issuing a statement that Obia ye fa no bribia
after December 7th.
David before after December 7th. The period he gave was before December 7th. He mentioned some months before December 7th.
No, in his letter.
Yes, the letter no. Opa, he letter no nakai.
No. The letter says will be a fan after December 7th.
Take the letter.
Implementation of Muhammad
me say, take the letter and read the period he gave. It was before whatever it was no enye sebi Togo for ena na ya fo mu adwuma enye Afghanistan for ena na ya fo mu adwuma more important enye Liberian government officials ena be fast hanipa no adwuma eye Ghana for ebi ni say ya koyi obi a sebi ne yire eye women organizer for NDC na wonim ya wonipa binumu a yede ayakayaka de ye wo mo enso mo ye din omo nkasa mo bi ntie including professionals, district directors, civil servants. Nanu ya institution bi won kran ha CEO na waba ho no technical person or technically the sole person with some requisite skills obi ani bi was our institution no or say ye pam no de nako or the letter man so onko second ministry okodu no agency na one under ministry no the minister didn't know. The minister wrote back say he cannot transfer somebody there without his knowledge. Nipa no go back. I mean no can say nipa no has been rendered redundant to Tifie, but bosumi bia yetwanka. Me no can say prempren the Chief Justice of the Republic of Ghana is on suspension. She's going through a trial that I believe and I describe as funny because it is defying all the decisions of the Supreme Court from Adjechum, through Ransford France, through Paul Derry, through Afoko, and then Justice Kwabna Amuanum 2020 there. Supreme Court now decisions. At a time when Mampani what power Ekosiisen prempe say onko ye hwemu no metu fo kwan ya yemfa so take the next step towards amendment process. They are not going to recommend to him amendments. So that committee, people must understand their mandate. The president knows what he's thinking, but he wants a committee to advise him how to go about it because Professor Mills, Professor Emeritus Professor Fiajo Commission is hanging there. You know, ya bo kakwa. I could do the and as I say, you know, a man for still insist say constitutional amendment. Inti committee no metu no for kwaya yemfa sonko. Me fi say sa committee no nko ye no commission and no mo hye ase views towards amendment and
but committee no rounds or no views.
But the views they are going to say, they are going to advise the president on what to do, not to undertake an amendment process.
Really?
Yes, I'm telling you, if you want to check, look at their mandate, their terms of reference. Even a committee cannot do that. It must take a commission. But that is another matter for the one more constitutional law to do. But these are the things. At the time, what set up committee say one advisor, what a majority leader, a parliament, say the lacuna that was identified by Dr. Barnum in the Ajechum case, and they tried to fail it, remains not fully filled. As I say, a regulation to guide how Article 146 should be properly applied.
Government Communications Minister said that was a personal opinion.
Majority leader.
Yeah.
He was speaking.
Government of Ghana.
But the majority leader in Parliament was speaking as what?
He was speaking as a member of Parliament.
And my majority, who introduces matters bills for business in Parliament? Who introduces it? Yes, he has a view. I'm saying that. I'm saying,
so
and that view. I'm just saying that. I'm relying on that view.
On behalf of government.
Hold on. He may not be on behalf of government, whatever it is. But I'm saying he's a leader of government business in that house. And Mama Yarga is not somebody whose law I will poo-poo. Me respecting the law, law reviews. He was part of the young guys who were editing it. People don't know about him. I can say that. But the point I'm making is that statement from him, of course, as a lawyer, Felix is not.
But Felix speaks for government.
I will place premium on Ayarga's view on a lacuna in the law that needs to be filled than Felix's political communication. That's my view. I will place more emphasis on that. And I will know about confirm what the Mimi can say. Ahead of a review suggestion, you are taking us through this funny thing, and for the first time in our history, attention, so Chief Justice, any different bodies best 4 enyina ko Supreme Court. The me say in the case of census, which I am an interested party, the ruling is out, so I can comment on that. The lead judgment introduces a pleading we didn't even make. And say inferentially, I can share it with you. We didn't make a pleading. How did you infer that? And then use that to give judgment or give a ruling. But that is for another media. May say, I believe that justice, no matter how long it takes, will be served. Unya botra. Ni penny ba kwa sema wa futu odima me say that you be diasem. You diasema mo de nyede. Enti e abotra. And that's why I keep telling you that the burden of democracy is what? Fidelity to the law. And that one requires burden, bearing, and patience. When you know, no penny. One more, you say, yeah, I did a friend say,
Empire Bono.
Okay. One more, yeah, say. Womo ewo nimdie a ya form a professionals womo ye adwuma ewo technical areas bi bribia ye fa womo nti ye say enough say say ye yi womo na ye part of resetting me no kasa mprempren Ablikuma North out of 276 womo nya MP not through the fault of the Electoral Commission but because the state has failed from President Akufo-Addo time. I'm tracing it. The Electoral Commission held a press conference December 19, 2024. Disappointing that President Akufo-Addo government couldn't provide the Electoral Commission with the needed security. Mampani Mahama also yeswa in and Oma chief secretary to the president Minuapani Callistus or issue statement say all election related violence from 2020 to 2024 IGP Dampare on your committee no munye anya nwie usiwe yinedi ama ubi take over. Me, I don't have a problem with that. What has become of that? You still have failed to provide the Electoral Commission the needed security to announce who
and
won.
The EC issue statement.
I don't have a problem with the EC.
Said they are going to rerun 19 polling stations.
They told us not long ago that there was no need to rerun.
Last week.
What is pushing them to now say that they are going to rerun 19?
It follows a meeting with reps of the two political parties, which meeting agreed
Obi,
to start roadmap.
Obi, and I want you see, this is my point. Me, I'm on the side of the Electoral Commission.
Yeah, you've been consistent.
And the Electoral Commission is guided by law. Minyaya, Bananka isi wa declare results in the data because they have the capacity, they have the results. Let whoever disagrees with them go to court and prove otherwise. This thing now, Akoya said, you want to play to the schemes of the NDC because that is all it is to it. They lost that seat. They want to find a way on bet media win seat now. All these issues back and forth. Yeah. You know.
I don't know.
I know the results. I know the results, but it won't lie in my mouth to pronounce who won.
President Mahama make it. He doesn't know that's what you are doing. They preach virtue and practice.
Conclude say Adiana Republic Day.
Honorable Mercer.
24 hours. Adiana Mampani Mahama Kaya me fano so kasa to say mbanye.
Yes.
That's a typical banye. That's how we call ourselves, not Gonja. Gonja he's a typical boy. Lona, I applaud him. But Mr. President, beyond the prayer, beyond the thanksgiving, the life worthy of the prayer must reflect it. The Hebrew word for prayer is na'ah. It's a way of life, a daily. You live it. You pray with your life. And yet demand. and then your deal transactional a relationship a yonko ye and a yonko fa enti what's ya now I yo me gidie ne say to me and a bray ye ninka so and Ecuador yana Kwame Nkrumah odi Ghana so for 15 years between 1951 1966 there was no name in Ghana or Africa that sounded greater than Kwame Nkrumah.
But Emreson, you know,
he was thrown out of government, but that is not my problem.
Sure.
Obi, in 1972, before April 27, after 24 February 1966, Kwame Nkrumah had begged and pleaded and sent Sekou Touré to come to Ghana and plead, say, "Yeah, manumra Ghana no mbewu." He was denied 3 times. Not even the champion regime amount for say, nay, closer to Nkrumah, gave him the chance to come and die in the country he led into forming. The next prime minister, K. Buzia, he died in exile. Liman, President Liman, I had the privilege to spend the night with him in my father's humble home in Kintampo, and he told me things. He was a visiting lecturer to 18 universities before he became president of this republic. By the time he was dying, he was virtually a pauper. And then, Jerry John Rawlings way.
I'm here to suffer.
Me twasu mobia din biom say. Why to me kuta woman na won fee say nunti, including private companies. They will show power there, no. Who manim?
Can't hear what you.
Obi. Mere.
Eninka so.
Makasa bi here.
Medase. James Kwabena Bonfe. Ena yeten en kano.
Dog.
Akaso. Akasa.
Maybe.
Akasa papa mama Akasa ahametine.
Awosenegu. Bobrabo.
Akasa. Chawo so kasa na sungu bifufro.
O say asampoetia. Obanya safoso obu ne be.
Won kana asem.
Mesa also kasana
months na ho na enye togbe.
Oh, ami.
Eye bajunu beni. Asama dock working. Na ye fon kwa junu be over the past few weeks bia moba oman show anapa.
Yeah.
He speaks with a certain patriotic spirit. And I like it.
You mean Oman Hene Kwabena
Santi?
Okay.
Osande, it pricks and politicians, no, or at least it should prick our conscience and seek to do what is right for Ghana. Many umbe argument because I was going to go back to 1D1F, the rationale behind it and how you bastardize it, and then some came relative to election 2024, and then the markup of them. There, I believe that there will be more time for us to engage on these matters.
Wonderful.
Okay.
When the results are pouring in.
May your initial comments, McCain. That any government policy be or the Ejumaba Brahma, I support it. McCain so that Benny be abo baby, Anna Engea. So I do not necessarily oppose this policy. No. But once summer came, election time, I don't see it being reflected in this policy. To draw attention to the fact that you promised the ministries, departments, and agencies a Formula 133. Oh, Masa, one manifesto program you kitabwaha.
Best quotas.
Formula 133 no children.
No. I say ministry, department, and agencies.
Formula 133 no children. Them reds na you had issue with the explanation MPP for be more the butter 1D1F. You don't have any issue with the explanation what party for what the butter 24-hour economy.
Who is that?
All your people who spoke on this thing said it.
That's not. It's not. I know.
All of them.
That
By
ministries department and
your best role.
agencies.
Your best ray. Any da. Doc, Masumiti President Mahama. And the pay graphic front page. I had opportunity to speak about it this morning. Say to Abamanu and to Abamanu. Oyeyen Omampain. I mean, it is on record. Even though move to a secret. Because of party coloration, you can infer, and you won't be wrong in who I voted for in election 2024. But unknown Ghana full majority, Yatu Abaman, and Awatu Abaman, don't bear my pain. It's a Kwanibiado. We all have to support him. Usanda so yeah, maina. Obi Aumia Matsa studio have marker. That I never wish any government ill. Usanda, if you wish ill for the government, look, politics are from archaeology to zoology. Subject matter P or politics. Why? Why? With there are plenty issues. But the country must make progress. And as you preach unity, as you preach inclusiveness, let your words. Look, I was excited. The Bank of Ghana, initial feedback are open in the public domain. I suspect that he probably is the one who would have issued directive quietly that look,
recall the guys,
them. And it was good. Positive feedback, no. It's a feather in your own cap. It's a feather in the cap of the president, though. But at least, yes, the 100 or so Ghanaian youth who jobs were taken away. Our from one back, no. It's a feather in this cap. How about the others? I'm in court with one of the state agencies. What terminate one employees? Some were recruited as far back as 2017, Obi. 2017, 2018. What's for MPP for? So they've been sacked. With a directive from minister. To what end?
My lawyer's contract was terminated.
To what end? Yes, maybe the claim will be that in the past Akufo-Addo na ban yebi. Maybe.
Then you can find.
When the suitors are, we speak a language that it be the Chief Justice issue. You hear people say, "Hey, you did it to Charlotte," or say, and I ask myself, assuming without admitting that there was even some plan to remove Charlotte Osei, and it was actually executed, which I disagree. Do we equate the role of the Electoral Commission to the Chief Justice of the Republic, the head of a co-equal branch of government? So it doesn't strike us that it is for some reason, or the Constitution itself anticipated the distinction. The reason why in the case of one, the Council of State is involved. It doesn't strike us. But listen to the commentary.
Hello.
And that Mati Mami be ne audio.
Shia Imam.
Matinando da Musar.
And a bunch of Shia Nasai.
Masa Obi. Imam Mewa Masa Matinando da Musar.
National Shia Imam. Yes.
Right in the presence of the president. He spoke his mind.
Obi the message be mami.
Yeah, I'll read it now. Yeah.
And if he wants to leave a legacy,
Abubakar Kamal Dean.
if he wants to leave a legacy, one day, second coming, because the first coming is saying unless those who are members of the Short Memory Association of Ghana, The first time they okay. But the 8 years no, we see them a P. And the sense that the greater majority of the people of Ghana is getting. Yet this time of day, on yet the first no. And why not? We have to make progress. Tiabasran. Some of these things no. Offer a say. Offer ye or yo.
Oh, yeah.
On many actions. On reflect statements are make at important state events such as yesterday. Now, Obi Medba Samri baby. And then a book or what you call it, Absa Bank one head office.
Okay.
Namuhun billboard or advertisement for the National Thanksgiving Service.
Advertisement?
Now,
like
billboard.
Publicity.
Publicity.
Okay.
Now, billboard no advertise a Christian service, na Muslim service.
Yes.
The Christian service no also where the forecourt of the State House.
The State House, sure.
And a Muslim service no when national.
The National Mosque.
And it struck me. Abana here she share in the past to put up a national cathedral. Here, Obi, we may not like the architect. We may disagree with the fear what we architect. You may think that there are other priorities. But the country of 68 years, important state events here or car park. Yaman fine name, forecourt
of State House.
Car park, car park.
Child.
Kojo, well, you may trivialize it.
You don't go and bring this issue.
Well, why not?
You see, why you do that, you are pushing
It's a stifle.
to come after you.
Let them come after me. I'm a Ghanaian citizen. I'm entitled to speak my mind. And I say that, look,
that built it.
Oh, of course. You know, and I know the reasons why it was not complete. Of course.
What is the reason?
Budgetary allocation.
The money.
Oh, see. Well,
somebody chopped the money.
You see,
so face the facts.
You see. Obi,
mosque no boy is saying. The mosque you are referring to. How much did they spend? The Turkish government spent to build it. That company, yeah, 2 to grow on 50.
A secular state that believes in plural religion had no space for indigenous traditional religion. And we are okay with that.
Is that what he's saying?
That's another way through a new angle.
Is that what he's saying? So let's finish saying this. And then you want to neutralize his pressure.
Okay.
You are neutralizing his pressure. Because I said Onoako raising
Honorable
Obi, it is obvious to me. I mean, I'm not a pretentious person.
Yes.
It is obvious to me that if you have a project that is budgeted to cost you 350 million or so, now spend the 50 million.
Yes.
There is no way that you expect the building to be complete. But if you expended the entire amount I budgeted for or project cost, that's the way we are. Then you'll be entitled to make statements to the effect that somebody is chop money and no one can. Those are politics, and if you want to do it, I'll do it. But I'm saying, from my observation yesterday, that we were advertising 2 state services, one being held at a car park, the Christian service, and one being held in the National Mosque, so described, for the Muslim service. It may be good. And look, when I was as a tourism ministry, I had the opportunity to engage with the National Cathedral Secretary. That project can pay for itself in 10 years, maximum. And the documents are there. President Mahama Nankasa will indicate that we'll have a conversation.
Yes.
I think, margin from again, it'll be good for us to complete it so it can serve us as a country on occasions such as yesterday and other state events that, unfortunately, as a country, we hold on car park. I cannot, for the life of me, understand why we do that.
Why we do that? That's
well, me.
Mami Nasi, we say Obi. Dr. Kwabena James Bonfe has spoken. Also, well, proper SDA orator. Send him and my senior Mercer my regards. Yahweh Free, a former deputy CEO, GIPC. This one says, Micah 6:8. All the Lord requires of us is to do right, show mercy, and walk humbly before the Lord. These 6 things the Lord hates. Yes, 7 are an abomination to him. A proud look, a lying tongue, hands that shed innocent blood, a heart that devises wicked plans, feet that are swift in running to evil, a false witness who speaks lies, and one who sows discord among brethren. Proverbs 6:16 to 19. Yeah, that's it. There's one here which says, Obi, of what significance is the National Prayer and Thanksgiving Service? President Mahama acquits and discharges his colleague who are alleged to have committed crimes. Boko is in flames. Stray bullet kills in Kwanta Senior High School student. Chief Justice subjected to inhuman justice. All these unfortunate scenarios arose due to President Mahama's maladministration. Should Ghanaians pray for more of this inhuman treatment? Kekusi ewo ejeso besiase. Honorable Fred Agbenyo says, Obi, is that my brother Kabila saying all those about President Mahama and the NDC? And ono Eddie Esi. We say, Obi, the majority leader as a leader of government business also attends cabinet. We free Protozua, Honorable Protozua, Suhum, Member of Parliament, and Odiwe are praying. Obi, so the very and actual day that carries the spirit and ethos of Republic Day has been moved to Friday, which has nothing to do with Ghana becoming a republic. To me, this decision is populist and will not make us feel the significance of the day. It is as if the president just wants a long weekend for Ghanaians at the expense of the symbolism of the day. I shall enjoy the long weekend nonetheless. Obi, the man speaking is the most non-propagandist NDC communicator I have seen. Junior or Tantra Hills. It is a non-propagandist NDC communicator, Honorable Kojo Edwasare. Honorable.
Catcher Fred Agbenyo.
Yes.
Minya Odi Pusi maintaining ka. Now maybe there I have no option, but it is my duty to love President Mahama.
Okay.
Until or no say or the oka, I speak out of love and deep appreciation of what duty I have as a Ghanaian and also his kin and kith.
Okay. Medase. Honorable.
Obi.
Yes.
President Mahama, 1st July, Thanksgiving and Prayer Day, vis-a-vis 1st July, Republic Day. Obi, yankola brema na yebana. 1st July, my birthday is 30th June. Na
kind of family connection.
Na ditchie bia ye holiday. Na ditchie bia ye 1st July. Ntina 1st July die dia edam akoma so pa until say MPP.
Belated happy birthday.
Thank you.
Yes, 30th June, yeah. You did it what happened.
So we video no say hey Nkrofo. Only on my.
Now four deputy ministers outstanding on Penny are appointing Nkrofo. Okay.
When will be beside?
No, there's some information because Benye officials.
Okay, birthday I think. Mention me a full Republican.
1st
July.
Oh, nice.
Oh, sir. It didn't know was your birthday.
I have a direct connection to Ghana.
Interesting.
Oh, yesterday was your birthday.
Yes.
Then belated.
Happy belated birthday.
Happy birthday.
Well, we should be belated.
Oh, please. Yeah, but for the breed. Don't worry. By the end of the year, near number 100.
I'm all around the 24 hours.
It's
Yes.
1st July. me kaino chinchini bia sa. Apart from those days, meet me there. Eko beach. Ni kankan. So Kabila can me ya dream in so many ways because me antecedent in politics CPP. My home was the home of CPP. Just that I believed in a friend saying Kunkom.
Okay.
The principle be. You say Kunkom na. The late Nana Kwesi and Rollins man, Deputy Minister for Environment, Juma. Na yadi Juma man na the then Asante Hene. Ni wofa. I invite him and say na Kwesi enye wo na papa yi ni nkofo omu beye wa ka de ni ade wo Kumasi ye ni nyina ye ni so na ye ma wadwuma wa san akwaje I say na pa wofa enti we nti na our friend so no otutu bi so fight we nti na our friend me say wofa pa wa ho bia na de ayira wo kwaye mu a wakopum so okorere ne pen so baby ade na yira na ho ade okorere no nti ma de na yira na makwa akorere nti ofa say we nti na frame de ame wo bibi ye pa ma me nko wi e no de jano. Of course people see me in NDC and they wonder why because my late brother Yawedu Labi one recover me see the way. 8 years, almost 8 years, August 13th. I think they were together in the Monas PMFG. People's Movement. Then, young guys are not when you see sharp guy. A champ. What do you know, Faith?
Oh, okay.
With the first
80 Amafo don't believe say me especially me come mountains now work and pay me body but I have that belief say me so me will be before betimidi aboa and I'm about NDC mo so man be dump, excuse my language. Me buy say be free assassin so crowd na one day a man for Bekai said there was someone who once lived and also obe joining NDC and also there's some perspective every boy you be so aboye my home by na never President Mahama can one semenra yen kabum asem sabi kasa eno na di bibia eba wo se wo beba ye kasa asundwe beba ye kasa intino me de said the tie bia no what we need is a leader who at a certain point se kromu ya she said then now say what it takes to calm nerves. Yes. Oh nipa any decision be obeteki and ebe you be there and I say ebe satisfy ye nyina you know odum so nim say isinto e won ho but as a leader it is your duty, especially on a day like this. Republic, it also underpins the unity. On mine, because you free. My mind different. Man from they be boom ye Ghana. That means say even out of 1940 hokra no na ye nsheda ni Ghana per se.
There was a colony, the Gold Coast colony, the Ashanti territory,
yes,
the Northern territory,
yes,
and at the Transvolta Togoland.
Yes.
Nti ohwemu properly speaking no. Babia na British colonial rule no pa the colony. And no started from Greater Accra through Central region to Western region. And some part of Eastern region, and that's why Central region is called Central region, because it was central to the colony between Greater Accra and Western region. And this was where it was. Now, Ashanti territory was seen as a territory on its own, called Pimbra for friend of Western Ashanti, which was annexed after the Yasantua War in 1902.
Right.
Northern territories no there. Akin Ferguson no, and a treaties omukoye around the 1920s. Friends say Gogisberg time. I know so bar under your friends say the British control and dominance. And then the Transvolta Togoland after the Second World War. Territories are now under French and German. In fact, under German, near the Omochiche. British and the now war this side German for control no a major area no e be di one side and some parts of northern region. So that's a bit about that.
Right.
So when we talk about Nkrumah being the founder now, in fact, it was through his ingenuity and a plebiscite of 1956 September the Ebaso they were opposed to that part of Volta region and the northern part of northern region. Part B and Kebabeka assassin geographically.
Okay.
You know, you see, some of these stories we need to tell from time to time. Nehu baby ayifi, any baby ayababedu, any sesha yanshe yahusu ye aya betimide yano esanding pai mu aba ya yentem. Yes, Sunday politics. Your friend no NDC MPP ne one. Ebe sign be papa yimu. You know, yes, he's a leader. Una now come about your friend say chief executive be okoyi obi edina and the minister cry aware.
In fact, that be or no call secondment ministry
on the PO.
And a minister nya way.
Right.
Or could do minister or minister and say only office man.
Right.
And or throw back to the agency say now how can you do this? And the important thing is that the person has some technical knowledge be war agency or my
me point I may put say there are times when in Emma to me see penny or down on your way. It should be this year. Because or no penny or down no
ultimate responsibility.
It takes ultimate responsibility. You know,
now because the way the men come work you see the entire company the enemy corner that angle they say that biara da no pa bia president nya national security briefing someone e come from mamu free information o gather ediko. So the president is not unaware of some of these things. Na obi a wo bank kabomu de hey munya sadie maka sorry bi a kire former a minister bia the young minister baako eboama ne wo fa asenya adwuma and now say no only minister no problem ti o pam minister ni ho no and okọ pam nkofo wo ho mu nyina ne nua baako no wo fi o say eh na wo nkofo na wayi o mu adi no ni say wo fa aseka ho de ye ba ho ampa adwuma ma ye ko papa no pa adwuma ma ya wa ko pam no papa ni na ewu yi.
Yeah, it's like I'll say. Let me wrap up.
Yeah, wrap up, man. Announcement to be
on mine and I chiche.
Okay.
Yenina me daimu heya na me kan he when Akufo-Addo took over the reins of government in this room as president. I'm say, hey, Papa, we party. The way I mean, who ne na who kekane the way I all shishe no who. Se utimi ye nia or say oba be ye pa the
NDC better opposition
in this room when I'm crying.
Yeah.
But he disappointed us.
Obone Troka.
He disappointed us because I had hope in him. I just been person I swear. It was in this time at table, no, CC, and I was sitting where this gentleman is sitting right now. That was last point. I said it because the way I'm not package papa. Oh, I'm incorruptible. And then no nonsense. I'm full set, Charlie. It was going to be that tough leadership.
Okay.
Sometimes, and the way I interpreting what you trimuno and representing what the real is. But our prayer is that if you come in Kromaswa, they best do President Kufuor so. The experience of all of these leaders put together will guide President Mahama to be able to put things right and put this country on a proper trajectory. Sanebeya yen go back, yen go sign. You see, look, sometimes you fool say, look, like yen jemunenka. Because it's like yakwani asansayechi. Ofri soa obifu from beba. As to whether that person is also prepared. And I say you're prepared no. Yeah. And also another matter. But me ebaba bisi nyame nsem. DMB de adabraka.
Kojodu Asare, a former MP, Adenta constituency, James Kobna Bonfe, and Honorable Andrew Ekosiisen Mercer, former MP second D. Meaning your Saibonsu. Yami had much never science. Have a great